What is up, guys, and welcome to Season 4 of F1 2016 Mobile Career Mode. It's finally here, and after a very dominant season last year, I've decided that I've got a few ways how we can spice up Season 4. So let's just dive straight into it. I'm really excited to tell you guys what I've got planned. So obviously, normally we've done a 15 race season. I was tempted to do a full season, however, no. We're going to do a 10 race season in Season 4. And we're also going to be incorporating some more difficult tracks for the player and better tracks for the AI. So I'm going to try and make it harder for myself. So in terms of who we're going to be driving, though, we obviously finished our season as Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari. And, well, I've got a few ideas of how we're going to mix this up. However, in the end, I've decided that instead of driving for Mercedes, we are going to hop across to Williams. Now, we used to drive for Ferrari, and we're going to keep, Williams, because they're a classic F1 team. And I wasn't sure who to drive as initially, but it was either going to be Felipe Massa or Valtteri Bottas. And I thought, why don't we try and get a driver a world championship? So, ORT Racing, you are a mind reader, can I just say? There's your comment on screen. But we are going to drive as Valtteri Bottas in Season 4 in the Williams and see if we can give the Flying Finn a World Drivers' Championship.
Crowd are here and here in force for what is going to be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix.
Well, my first qualifying session for Williams went rather well. Yeah, we qualified on the front row, P2, in front of Raikkonen and Hamilton, and behind Nico Rosberg, the man who I'm sure will be determined to take back the championship he won in Season 2. It's not really going to be a road to glory for Williams, because I don't think we're going to win the Constructors. I don't think the car or Massa is strong enough as a teammate. But our aim this season is to win the Drivers' Championship. Season 4 is underway of F1 2016, and it's a great start. We're ready side by side with Nico Rosberg into turn 1. Later on the brakes, and we go into the lead. So we've jumped the Mercedes straight off the start, and that's exactly what we needed to do if we want to try and win this race, as I get an email which completely lags my game. It's already lap number 5 because literally nothing happened, and I'm going to make my first pit stop. I seem definitely to have the pace to do a 2-stop today, and especially after Abu Dhabi last season, that gave me more confidence about choosing a 2-stop strategy more often. So yeah, out we come from the pit lane, and it looks like we are actually going to rejoin in P1. So I definitely seem to have some very, very good race pace around here. This is lap 8 already. This is some lap traffic. That's Felipe Nasr in the Sauber. That's the first lap car I've encountered. And next up we've got the Force India of Nico Hülkenberg down the inside of the German. And there we go. This is obviously the first time we've been to Melbourne for a season opener since Season 1 when we were driving as the German driver. How long ago that seems as we go around the outside of Alonso. Again, this is just lap cars. That's what I mean. Yeah, this race was just boring. It was another one of those races where the only overtakes I'm having to make are, of course, lapped cars. The dreaded lapped cars, as we see lapped cars battling in front. This is what I don't like. This is Magnussen, Button and Gutierrez. I'm deciding to take a bit of a wide line and try and avoid that. But yeah, my fastest lap of the race is a 1:25.4. I set that on lap 2. It's not been beaten. So yeah, it's clearly showcasing that I have some pretty decent speed here, and at this stage I've just accepted that I need to take it easy and just focus on trying to bring the car home to the checkered flag, because as I was saying earlier, we want to win the Drivers' Championship this season. Although Williams are technically still a midfield car in this game, Massa isn't strong enough to win the Constructors, so it's not really a Williams return to glory. But if we can get them a Drivers' Championship, then that would be brilliant. That's why I'm making it a bit harder for myself, because rather than going for Mercedes, I'm actually trying to give myself a less decent car, as we now go wheel to wheel with Jenson Button, who's refusing to get out of the way. The McLaren driver wants to fight me for some reason. And there we go, we have to actually overtake the Honda-powered McLaren. Speaking of which, we're back with Mercedes power in the Williams car for the first time since Season 1 when we drove as the Force India. This is the Red Bull of Daniel Ricciardo in his home race in P10. I put a tyre on the grass there. Hopefully Daniel is going to move out of the way. There he does, he doesn't want to get into any more trouble at his home Grand Prix. It's already lap number 11, guys. I apologise sincerely. There was nothing happening for me in this race whatsoever, apart from me overtaking lap cars. However, you may have just noticed the tyre wear icon, and because I'm doing a 2-stop, that basically means I need to binge the tyres and come into the pits for a new set. So this is my final scheduled pit stop of the afternoon, onto another set of super soft tyres. There we go, 2.2 seconds again. We're getting pretty decent pit stops from the Williams pit crew this season, and once again we are going to rejoin in P1, which is brilliant. So now all I need to do really is not lose my front wing by colliding with a lap car, and then we can pretty much win this race, which would be brilliant if we could win on debut for Williams. That would be a fantastic result, as opposed to my teammate Felipe Massa. I currently don't have an update on my teammate's progress. However, we're still managing to navigate some lap cars without any damage, which is always a positive. That was Fernando Alonso and Marcus Ericsson there, getting past those two drivers respectively. And don't forget, because we've done a 2-stop, you would expect the Mercedes to be pretty close to me. However, they're just not. I haven't really been under any pressure for the whole race, and even on lap 1, because the AI goes so slow into turn 1, I just managed to run away so easily, and since then I haven't seen them. This is Gutierrez again for the second time this race. Interestingly, Hamilton has now got ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, because I understand that Raikkonen was currently on the podium before then, so I don't know if the Mercedes managed to undercut the Ferrari driver. Anyway, this is already the penultimate lap of the Australian Grand Prix, and I'm still coming up to lap cars. Another tyre on the grass there at the left-right chicane. And this is Kevin Magnussen moving out of the way much nicer than he did before this time. I'm going to cut across the Danish driver and pick up the racing line. Go a little bit deep there. Magnussen still the proximity arrow. Looks like he's trying to put me under some pressure. However, I'm going to try and leave him for dust through the final couple of corners and hope that the Renault can back out of this. However, it doesn't seem that he wants to. You can see, you've always known the lap cars to be a little bit strange in this game. Blue flags just doesn't exist. Anyway, here comes Magnussen. For some reason, he's got massively OP straight line speed. I try and squeeze him in, nearly hit the wall, and I have to race the Danish driver to actually get back in front of him. So that was a very much a heart-in-the-mouth moment for me, but nevertheless, that's the only racing that's happened for me today, and I've shown that it is possible to win the race at the first corner, because we've absolutely crushed the Mercedes here today, and Valtteri Bottas is about to take Williams to the top step of the podium for the first time since Spain 2012. The Flying Finn is going to win his first race in Formula 1, and Valtteri Bottas wins the Australian Grand Prix to kick off Season 4 in style, and I have to say we've deserved it, because we've absolutely dominated here. And there you go, we won by 48 seconds, which is incredible, with an extra pit stop, because the Mercedes, let's face it, will have done a 1-stop. That is extraordinary. I was 6 seconds a lap faster than the AI, which is insane. Felipe Massa gets some great points in P5. Both the Red Bulls out the point. Sebastian Vettel P7, he'll be disappointed with that. Obviously, who we were driving as last season just shows what my magic touch can do to an AI. Kvyat up in P6, that's a great point for Toro Rosso. Drivers' Championship is exactly the same. After race 1, we don't really need to go through that again. Magnussen handing on to some points for Renault, they'll be very pleased with that. And then the Constructors, we lead. So, I know it's only one race, but come on, you've got to take it. I mean, I'm not sure for how much longer we can keep that going, because Mercedes are just too strong. However, that's it for the first race in Season 4. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If it was a very boring race, please remember to like, share and subscribe. Let's get to 500 subscribers. Don't forget to follow my Instagram and join my Discord server. Both links are in the description below. And here's to hoping the remaining 9 races can be a lot more chaotic. Goodbye.